In this episode, I go over my top 10 comic books that I've picked up throughout 2021. What is up, guys? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. As I just mentioned, I wanted to put this video together to show off my top 10 comic books that I've collected throughout 2021. It's really been a great year in terms of growing the collection, getting a lot of cool things, and I hope that the year's been good to you overall. I hope the holidays, I know the holidays just passed, hope the holidays have been well for you, and getting ready for this New Year celebration going into 2022. But before we do all that, like I said, I'm going to go over my books that I've picked up. These are my top 10 books that have stood out to me that are in my collection now that I've picked up throughout this year, 2021. So before I get into those books, take a moment, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and let's check it out. We're going to start with number 10 here. Got them set up here on the floor. And I'm going to go, I should say too, I have some modern books. I have some older Silver Age, Bronze Age, all that. So it's a good mix here. This first book I'm going to throw up here is Department of Truth, issue number 1. It's a 9.8 that I went out and picked up. I wanted to have this. This series has been fantastic. James Tynion doing the writing here, and Martin Simmons doing the artwork. I've just really fallen in love with the series overall. I think they're on issue 13 or 14 now, and it's just been fantastic. So if you haven't been reading it, highly recommend it. But yeah, this is definitely a book that I picked up this year that I was really excited to officially now have as a 9.8. So that's my number 10 pick. Let's see, going into my number 9 pick, this was actually a AOK that was given to me by my friend Tim, aka Off-White Tim. I'll put his information in the description below. Tim, if you're watching this, I really appreciate you, man. He sent me this Thor issue 154, and it's in a 7.0 grade. Let me just say that this came from 1968, so super old Thor book, the earliest Thor book that I own, and just really nice of him to do. And again, Tim, appreciate you so much, man, for AOKing this book to me. And again, just such a high grade, 1968, getting a 7.0 here. It's off-white to white pages. Stan Lee story, Jack Kirby and Vince Colletta cover and artwork. It's also the first appearance of Mangog. Or Mangog. Not sure who that is, but certainly we'll have to check this out someday, at least on either Comixology or Marvel Unlimited, as obviously not going to crack this bad boy open. But yeah, so that's going to be my number 9 pick for me that I picked up here in 2021. And again, shout out to you, Tim. Thank you so much, my friend. Okay, going into my number 8 pick here on my list, I am going with one of my first CBCS graded books that I've gotten. I don't think it's my first. I'm trying to think what my first was. Well, it's not on this list, but Marvel Superhero Secret War issue number 8. I actually did not get a chance to post this. I just got it recently from a good friend of mine, buddy I grew up with. His name's Connor. Connor, if you're watching, thank you, man, again, for this awesome deal for this. It's a 9.0 for this classic book. I have another copy of this that I bought a while back. It was actually one of the first books that I picked up, but he was looking to get rid of a few of his keys, and so we made a deal, and I was able to pick this up off of him. So another, obviously, just a fantastic series and book, and iconic cover there. So that's going to be my number 8 pick there. It's the Secret Wars issue number 8 in a 9.0. The next one here is actually going to follow. It's another book that I got from my buddy Connor, so I'm going to keep it going in that theme. It's another CBCS book, graded by CBCS. It's New Mutants 98. Of course, I have to have some mutants in this list here, and just a really nice copy of New Mutants 98. It's in a 6.5 off-white to white pages. Obviously, the first appearance of Deadpool, which, by the way, I have a cool Deadpool shirt on right here that I got for the holidays last year that I'm rocking. So, but anyways, yeah, another great book, and this is certainly a key that I had wanted for a while. I mean, I'm slowly trying to own a majority of the New Mutants, or I'm sorry, the mutants in general, first appearances. So this is definitely a nice one to have. And again, Connor, appreciate you, man. He hooked me up with a deal. So thank you so much. So that's going to be my number 7 pick on the list here. All right, going into my number 6 here. All right, I'm going to go back to this one because I moved some things around. So my number 6 pick here, it's it's another modern book. It's easily my favorite indie book out there right now, and something I've read over the past year. Went out and bought this in a 9.8 because I just love this series. I've talked about it again and again, and of course I'm talking about Descender. This is issue number 1 in a 9.8. I actually bought this right at the beginning of the year, like January 9th or something like that, online. And you know, one of the few eBay purchases. Don't really go to eBay too often, but this was something that I wanted to get before things got really crazy and out of hand, as a majority of you know, just books in general are. So got this for a really great deal. Already it's, you know, doubled since I've last looked at it. So really glad that I could get it when I did. Ultimately, I feel like it's pretty easy issue to find, in terms of just if you're trying to get issue 1, you know, not graded. So I do have a couple of regular copies, but this one here definitely wanted to go out of my way to get a 9.8, especially the fact that it is a all black cover. Obviously can get pretty dinged up easily, and probably hard to find, or harder to find, in a 9.8 as the years go by. So yeah, if you guys have never read Descender, I highly recommend that you check it out. It is one of my favorites. It's Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen doing the artwork, and it's such a great adventure. I actually did had the opportunity to go over to JP Collect's channel and do a whole breakdown on the entire series and Ascender, along with John from John's Comics with Kids, and Comic Man Andy, and even White Whale Comics was also involved in an episode or two. So really just a great time. Really brought friends together and just had a great time talking about it. So yeah, definitely check out Descender. That's going to be my number 6 on my list. All right, going into halfway through the list here, my top 5. Gonna switch gears a little bit and go over to some Sandman. This is something more recent that I had gotten into. And this is issue number 8. This is the first appearance of Death. I just picked this up from my LCS a couple of months ago, and was really excited to see when they had it in stock. For the price that they had it, especially, they had it graded pretty decently high. I have it, so I had it for a 9.4. Can't beat that, especially obviously things going going on Netflix and things like that. I'm really excited for the show, so I'm looking forward to that too. And it's just a really nice copy, and really great issue. You know, I've only read the first 8 issues altogether, and for those who've been following me on Instagram, you may have seen I just got the omnibus for the first volume of Sandman, so I'm really excited to continue reading in more of that. So but anyways, that's gonna be my number 5 pick right there, Sandman issue number 8. And then, keeping that theme going of Sandman, got another Sandman book here, another one I've talked about recently on the channel, and this is Sandman issue number 1. Actually bought these on the same day from Zap Comics, so another great deal, could not pass it up. And oh, actually, now that I think about it, these were, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think these were both. Oh, no, this was not it. I'm thinking of their 50% off deal. It wasn't that, but they just had them really good, really well priced. This is about a 9.0. And again, just wanted to get these to have in the collection. I'm trying to collect the first 8, because that's what I've read so far for single issues, and I think I'm only missing 2 right now. 2 issues, I should say. Issues 2 and 4, I think I'm missing. But anyways, it's been really great to be able to dive into this more recently and really enjoying it. So that is my number 4 pick on the week, Sandman issue number 1. All right. Going to top 3 here, and again, smash that like button if you haven't already. I appreciate it, or leave a comment in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these books. But number 3 for me is a book that I got from Royal Collectibles over in Queens in New York, and it is the first appearance of Harley Quinn, Batman Adventures issue number 12. And yeah, this was just so awesome to get at a live claim sale, actually. When I saw this, and they had it graded, they had it set for a 9.0, so I was really excited to be able to claim that when I did. And yeah, just been really falling in love with the character Harley over the past year or so now, especially with what I've been reading with like Stephanie Phillips in the current series and things like that, and obviously what Tynan has done with the Batman series, and Jorge Jimenez, the artwork that he's done with her is just absolutely stunning. So really enjoying the character overall, and I just thought this would be a great piece to the collection. So wanted to you know, when the opportunity came up, I wanted to make sure that I had it. So that's going to be my number 3 pick right there. The first appearance of Harley Quinn, Batman Adventures issue number 12. Going down to my final 2. Yeah, I can't believe that these books, by the way, are all just this past year. It's been pretty crazy to think about. This next book here is something I got fairly recently as well. I showed off on the channel not too long ago also, I think a couple months ago. It's a pretty big X-Men book to me, and it's one that I was waiting patiently to get a nice copy of, because this book deserves to be in a nice condition for my collection and for what I wanted and for what I was looking for. The cover is so iconic that I wanted to ensure that the copy I do get is looks stunning, and usually, I mean, I'm open to, you know, low grade better than no grade. I'm all for that, generally speaking, but for this, the opportunity that I found this, the price, and everything else, just could not pass it up. So of course I'm talking about X-Men 101, just the classic cover right there, and stunning. I mean, just an awesome part of an awesome series, as obviously you know, or hope you guys know that you know, we do the Omni X-Men with John from John's Comics with Kids, talking about the Claremont X-Men stuff. So yeah, I got this book from Zap Comics, and this was between an 8.5 and a 9.0 that they had put this. So yeah, really just iconic Dave Cockrum cover, and some beautiful artwork. So yeah, I wanted the bright blues. That was my goal. Was like, I need this book with like bright blues. I wanted things even in terms of the edge, the cut, and at the front. The spine is beautiful. Nice little newsstand. You know, just the works. So really happy to have that. And so obviously got to have that as my number 2 pick on this list for 2021, X-Men issue 101. And then of course, that brings me to my number 1 book overall. And again, cannot believe that this was just this year that I picked this book up, and luckily was able to get this particular book before the big boom happened towards the beginning of the year. And it is, of course, my number 1 book, Giant Size X-Men issue number 1. The first appearance of the entire crew here, other than Wolverine, I guess I should say, and Cyclops. But you got Storm there, you got Thunderbird, you got Cyclops. I'm sorry, Colossus, and you got Nightcrawler as the first appearances. So really special stuff, and obviously just an amazing read. Chris Claremont being involved with this, along with Len Wein, and just really launched the what we have today. I mean, in terms of what Claremont initially kicked off, like the, you know, what he established here with between this and obviously 94 and so on and so forth. I know that it wasn't all Claremont in this particular issue, but I know he certainly had a hand in some of this, and Len Wein, you know, giving him the credit as well. Len Wein doing the majority, and then also Gil Kane doing this awesome cover, and then I think it's Cockrum on the inside. So definitely a special book. It is my number 1 book in my collection, even though I have an X-Men 1 as well. This is my baby right here. And when I bought this, it was a 7.0 is what Zap had it as. And again, this was, I actually bought this right in January of 2021, and it was right before the big bang of, you know, a lot of these keys skyrocketing, and I was lucky enough to be able to claim that, and they held on to it for me until I paid it, and yeah, was just really excited to pull the trigger when I did. So obviously going to be my number 1 pick, and this was definitely on my list that I did with the Team Nerd Herd crew when I had laid out kind of my we all did like a top 5 or a list of 5 books that we really wanted to own by the end of the year, and this was one of them. Descender was another one, and I think the X-Men 101 was on that list as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I definitely got at least 3 of the 5 that I was going after for 2021. Not too bad considering what they were. So yeah, really happy with that. Obviously, just a special book. And by the way, if you have not read this actual book, you should. Even if you're not an X-Men fan, even if you've never read X-Men before, this is obviously, or I would say obviously, a great jumping on point for anybody. And it's one that I jumped into, even though technically I read 94 first. I read the first couple of issues starting at 94 before I went into this, but obviously this should be where you start. And it's just such a special book, and really does kick off a great series. So yeah, that's gonna be my number 1 pick. I think I've talked enough about it already. I will be posting this again at some point in time going into 2022. And just, yeah, love the, I should highlight too, just the cover itself, super bright. The edges of the spine here are on this side. It really was surprised how clean this was, being how, you know, how thick this book is. and hard to find in the nice conditions the way that I found, especially raw. So I probably will send this in at some point to get graded, just to keep it protected, but nowhere soon, no time soon. I know there's like crazy lines for, you know, CGC and whatnot, so I'm just going to keep it as it is right now, because it's just beautiful to look at, and I can take it out if I want to. I have flipped through this book. I always flip through my raw books as I first buy them, so definitely was able to enjoy that experience with this book as well, while not damaging anything either. So anyways, I talked enough about this book. That's my number 1 pick right there, Giant Size X-Men issue number 1. And again, that was my list for my top 10 books that I've picked up throughout the year, through 2021. It's been a great year for comics. It's been a great year for collecting. It's been a great year for reading. It's been a great year for collaborating with so many great comic book YouTube creators and Instagram creators, you know, just putting out awesome content as well. And just been an awesome journey, as I always say. So I hope everybody had a great holiday season. I hope that you all have a happy new year. Not sure exactly when this is going to air, but either way, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of this list here. If you thought I did good, or you know, if there's anything that you own, I'd love to hear about it. And then otherwise, make sure you smash that like button on the way out, and I will talk to you guys later.